always a big deal, and it's easier to win games at home, and so hopefully we'll be able to get it done in 3 there.
Now you have, after this weekend, only 5 matches left in the regular season. You're just 2 games out of that playoff spot. I'd like to know, what kind of coach are you? Are you a coach who kind of thinks about that, or you were one match at a coach kind of coach?
One match at a time kind of coach. Of course, that's in the back of your mind, but if you get too focused on that, then the matches you're supposed to win, you don't win. And so we try to take it one team at a time and hope that we've improved enough throughout the year that we'll be able to make it to the conference tournament.
Now, the conference you played in, and we're assistant coach at the Frontier Conference. We'll go ahead and give a comparison again, since you're a little bit past that halfway point. Mm-hmm. Compare that Frontier Conference with the Cascade Collegiate Conference.
Well, I'll probably say the same thing that I said before. The styles of play are quite a bit different, but the top teams in the Cascade would compete with the top teams in the Frontier pretty equally, and the bottom teams would probably be pretty equal as well, just a little bit different style of volleyball because of where we're at.
Okay, Coach. Well, again, this weekend headed to Northwest Christian in Corbin. Your first time over that area?
Yeah, it is.
Well, enjoy that, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and have Coach Ben Welch, the EOU cross-country head coach, come on up. And EOU cross-country hosting their lone meet of the season this Saturday at 9 a.m., the EOU Open. And Coach Welch enjoying some Benchwarmers lunch right now. He's got the, it looks like a turkey sandwich.
Yeah, they call them.
Boy, that looks pretty tasty.
Yeah, it's Italian sub, so so far so good.
Now, Coach, EOU Open on Saturday. I hate to date you here, but how long has this event been going on?
Well, there's only been a couple of years in the time I've been here that we haven't hosted one, but on homecoming, I think this is our 5th or 6th year in a row that we've done it in conjunction with homecoming. We'd done it sporadically before that, so that's a real good question.
That's probably an answer I should have, actually.
Yeah.
So I'll have to get on that answer. Let's talk a little bit about the entries coming into race this weekend as far as other programs.
It's going to be really pretty small. NCAA Division II schedule is kind of goofy this year, so Northwest Nazarene is taking the bulk of their squad down to California rather than bringing them all over here, but they are sending a partial group over. Still haven't heard yet from Boise State whether they'll be sending some women over or not, so kind of figured probably not. So it's going to be really pretty small. It'll be basically just us and the NNU people this year. I do try to keep this one pretty small, partly because the course doesn't handle real big numbers, but also partly just to kind of make it a little more manageable with everything going on around homecoming. So
now, will you have some unattached runners going as well?
Yeah, we'll definitely have a pretty good size field of unattached runners in there. We'll have some of our redshirt kids will run, and then there's some people from out of the area coming in. Usually we have some alumni in there that are in there. A few years ago, we got beat by the alumni guys.
Well, Coach, it's your home course this weekend, and it's a little bit different than what people may think it is, and it's kind of a weird little course mapping out-wise because you got to open a few gates to actually see it. But talk a little bit about that course.
It's set up to be pretty visible. We do have to run, seems like every year, a few extra gates to go through, but we set it up so you can stand kind of out there in the middle of the fields and see about 80% of it from one or two spots. So, which is pretty unusual in cross, actually. Normally, if you're not highly mobile, you're not going to see much of it. So, set it up to be visible. It's a lot more challenging than it looks. It's pretty funny when people come in to run on it. They think it's pretty flat, and then they race it, and they find out that, I'm kind of rotten and set it up to be a little more challenging than it looks. It'll be a little quicker this year. There's a portion of the course that we had to modify a little bit, and should run out a little bit faster. And then we run the shorter distances so they can work on some race things.
Now, you got at home, what would you like to see from your runners this weekend?
Well, a lot of there's really two things that I want them to work on, and they kind of have their choice. They can either work on getting out real hard and then kind of hanging on, because the women, instead of running 5,000 meters, are only running 3,000. and the guys, instead of running 8K, are running 5K. So, the guys are running almost 2 miles less than their standard race distance. So the two choices they really have are either to get out real hard and then kind of hang on and push, or to get out at their longer race distance kind of rhythm and then push hard late. And that's one of the reasons we run the shorter distances, so they can work on some different racing styles.
Now, I'm not sure if the NAI actually tuned into our show last week or not, but the women moved back up a little bit from 16 to 14 in national polls. The men stayed at number 16. But off of that, Carly Coffey, dare I say she may get another runner of the week coming up? Did you see her getting maybe her fourth of the season?
Nah, I don't know. There's a big invite over, well, not a big invite, but it's not a lot of numbers, but it's a high-quality field over at Concordia. So we'll see if Taylor can wake up a little bit and get after it. And other than that, yeah, she may. Now, the small size of the field here might hamper a little bit in that.
Looking at the rankings, like I said, are you happy with where both your programs are at this point of the season?
Yeah, actually I am. I'm really quite pleased with that. So it was kind of nice to see the women get a little bit of a nod and move up a couple notches and up and down with some things have been. I was pretty happy to see the guys stay put. I wouldn't have been surprised if the guys had dropped a notch or two. I wouldn't have said it was, necessarily justifiable. But I wouldn't have been surprised because there were some other teams that ran well around the country. But
we've seen our guys do well and still drop.
Yeah.
An off week probably would have hurt them, I guess.
Yeah, so things are starting to stabilize a little bit, although I saw over the weekend there was a pretty big shakeup down in California, so when the polls come out tomorrow, it might be interesting. So, because a team that had dropped out of the rankings after Willamette beat the number 6 team in the country on Saturday down in California, so things might get a little interesting.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck and have fun at your home meet this weekend.
Yeah, one thing I might want to let you know now is that we're actually just going to run one start time this weekend.
Okay.
No time like the present to let you know what's going on in your own events, right?
Hey, that's good to know.
Yeah, we'll run at 9 o'clock and we'll start the women's 3K and the men's 5K at the same time. So.
Okay, so fans, again, 9 a.m., come on out to the Eastern Oregon campus and check out men's and women's at the same time.
Yep.
That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be short and intense.
Again, Ben, good luck this weekend.
All right, thanks.
Coach Keith Scarlett could not be with us today. He's with a recruit. But women's soccer had a fairly good weekend. Pass on through, you're fine. But soccer went on the road and split at Evergreen and Northwest. It was a 2-0 win over Evergreen on Friday and a 3-2 loss at Northwest on Saturday. This weekend, the Mountaineers will host Southern Oregon and Oregon Tech. Both those are 2 p.m. kickoffs. And right now, EOU 2-2 in conference play, and Southern Oregon and OIT both 2-1. Headlines on EOUsports.com. Cheer and dance rosters are now available. Also, golf scramble. You can register for that still. That'll be on Friday, the homecoming Les Schwab scholarship scramble. That one gets going at 10 a.m. So get on EOUsports.com now to register or for more information. Hall of Fame, Mountaineer Hall of Fame will be welcoming 4 members, Neil Abel, Troy Williams, and the 1999 and 2000 softball teams, and that's on Friday night, the Hall of Fame ceremony. Midnight Madness will kick off basketball season tomorrow night at 9 p.m., Wednesday night in Quinn Coliseum. Slam dunk contest, three-point contest, and scrimmages, and a lot of things for fans going on at that. Looking at the calendar, again, Friday, the Les Schwab Scholarship Golf Scramble will be at 10 a.m. at Buffalo Peak and Union. And then soccer will host Southern Oregon at 2 p.m. There'll be live stats available for that. And volleyball at 7 p.m. at Northwest Christian. And there'll be live video of that on EOUsports.com along with live stats. Saturday, a whole bunch going on.